Hello to you all, and welcome to Pyramid Energy, a journey through intuition, wisdom, and loving insight. My name is Khunzi. If you've journeyed with me before, welcome back, and thank you all for being here with me. It's Sunday evening where I am, exactly 1919, as I look on the clock now. I'm remembering that 19 is about the sun. What I'm feeling mainly is a lot of gratitude for various reasons, for gifts that come from unexpected places. And as these gifts come in, I'm feeling your body responding differently to the way it usually responds. I actually just pulled my cards out, just out of this feeling of gratitude, wanting to do my own reading for myself. And then I decided, let me share this reading. And as I shuffled, what's been coming through is a clarity forming around something new that's brewing. Yesterday I pulled a card from the Angels and Ancestors deck. And this card said, wait for important information. I believe it was the Oracle card. And so I already had the feeling that, okay, there's important information coming through. However, I just let that sit. But it's coming up again now. And the more it's coming up, the more it's clarifying as I shuffled. It feels like there is a lot going on around you. You're staying calm. But at the same time, there's a new idea. It feels creative. What I heard as I was shuffling is, you want to spread your wings. This feels like an unusual way of things forming, because usually you form things under pressure. You feel like you've got to go through all the motions of, adjusting your approach to how you receive new information, usually received out of need. However, what's happening now is you're in a balanced space, you're in a balanced place, and new ideas are being born out of gratitude, not need, not stuckness. What I'm hearing is that something new wants to be birthed through you. I'm hearing that this thing could not be birthed before you found yourself in this space that you're in right now. I'm hearing that it will be a wonderful addition. And I have the Six of Pentacles in reverse, which is also confirming what I was trying to put into words earlier, which is, this is not being born out of need. Not in any way out of need. It's an offering. It's an offering, and it has nothing to do with any sense of achievement. It's born of gratitude. And so this is still very blurry for me, but it's not coming through in the way that any other of your ideas has come through. And so what I'm seeing is like a new area of, I don't know if I should use the word manifestation, a new route of birthing ideas is born. In the area of what's crossing you, I have the Ace of Wands, which speaks to me, especially in its position, is speaking to me around a sparking of passion. Okay, and it's clarified by the Three of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. This is crossing you because, again, this is not how your ideas are usually formed. And so it's as if you are being a vessel of whatever this is. And also, this is what's unusual, is you seem pretty content. You feel content about how things are currently. And so for a new idea to form, it's formed purely out of you being at ease. And so this is just coming through. It's just landed It's landing. So you can feel it landing and you're not sure what it is, and you're unbothered. That's the main thing for me. You're unbothered about how it's coming through, in what form it comes through. You are being open and allowing it. But what I'm wanting to point out is, especially from that card, I'm going to put it on the screen. You're not just a vessel, you're a channel. And you're a chosen channel. And this information has chosen your channel. You didn't search for it. And I'm hearing that it's a gift to you, and it's a gift through you to others. In the area of your recent past, I have the Hermit and I have the Empress. The 9 and the 3 of these cards, and the fact that they are both major arcana coming out together, speaks to a profound period that you're coming out of. Not coming out of, you've been in this period, you've been in this space. This has been a space of gratitude, of receiving, a really deepened sense of personal value, and really wanting to sit in that feeling of gratitude. And so this is not, again, the usual hermiting. You're in a completely different space to how you've been in the past, in a completely different vibration, and I'm feeling you settled in this newfound vibration. Things feel quiet, but in a good way, a good quiet, peaceful, and also a sense of peace with the kind of clarity you're feeling. And this clarity is speaking to me about a kind of clarity and peace that you feel irrespective of whether you have any confirmations on this clarity or not. And so this is actually just pure clarity and peace that's not reliant on anything other than how you feel, and how you feel as you receive information, and how you feel as you perceive information, where you are, where other things are, their place in time is what I'm, how they relate to time. That's coming through quite a lot. There's a huge ease of pressure here. I have 74444 on the clock. Those numbers for me are confirming this sense of peace, sitting in the hands of the divine, feeling safe, irrespective of factors like time, circumstances, anything. You're in a very peaceful place. 080889. They're saying that this is what momentum feels like. It's not meant to feel like a push, push, push. It's meant to feel like, you can feel every cog on the wheel turn, like you have a not too solid grip on it, but a steady touch on it, and that you have a way of keeping it turning without pushing it and without trying to hold it back. They're saying this is what a healthy momentum feels like. In your near future, I have Temperance and I have the Queen of Wands. This is you realizing that you have the room to embrace new ideas. Okay? Something around the Queen of Wands is also sparkling for me. And also the Temperance card, the way the wings are spread, I don't always see the wings on this particular card. But this is more keeping your balance, allowing yourself to be charmed by new ideas without losing your balance, and being able to spread your wings within your balance. What I'm feeling here is you mostly feeling quite capable, not under pressure, but confident to take on some new things with a level of discernment. There's nothing you have to do, and there's nothing you need to do. That's how it feels. And this feels like a very healthy space to build from. At the top of mind, I have the Chariot in reverse and the 7 of Swords. First thing is, the Chariot just flipped out of my hands onto the surface, and the Seven of Swords did the same thing as I was contemplating the Chariot. So these two cards snuck out. And what they're doing is they're confirming something I felt earlier. This is not cautiousness. But what it is not feeling the need to take off too quickly. This is literally what not feeling under pressure looks like to me. And also, because of past experiences, but in a healthy way, not taking off quickly because you are not under pressure, and not taking off quickly because you just want to apply your discernment around what it is you're receiving. So you're taking your time. You're taking your time on this. It feels like you want to receive it well. It feels like whatever it is, you want to honor it. I have, in your subconscious, I have the moon in reverse. And I want to say that absolutely every single card in this deck right now is upright. I check my cards often. I don't know how else to put this. I check my cards often. I know they're all upright. I'm even scanning them now. And I feel like I've received quite a few in reverse and they're falling out of my hands. And this is confirming that this is an unusual way of things unfolding for you. I definitely feel that way. And I feel how you want to ask yourself, why is this landing in this manner? Because this is new. This is new. This is what it feels like to receive something unexpectedly. This is because of the vibration that you're in. This is because you've released yourself of pressure. This is because you feel worthy. You feel like you are enough right now. You actually feel like you're more than enough right now. You are exceeding your former standards of what enough means. I had to pause there to hear those words again. And what I'm getting from them is, you used to feel you were not enough, and you had enough at a certain level, you were beneath that. That's how you saw yourself. And now you've kind of restored your idea and your perception of what enough looks like. And you're now, my throat. And you're now realizing that you exceed that. When my throat closed, I asked why. And they said that they'd like for you to remember that. Remember what it feels like to know that you are more than enough. And that you always were more than enough. The moon in reverse is clarified by the Four of Pentacles. And what I'm getting from this is you starting to question yourself. Okay, so now I'm seeing this mirror now. You have been questioning yourself subconsciously, semi-mentally is how I want to put it. And the way the question is coming out is, am I doing my skills and abilities justice? Am I doing less than I am capable of? This is mirroring to me because you called on this, you're receiving this offering because of this awareness of the more that you can bring to the table. Okay? So you're recognizing that there are areas perhaps where you've been holding back, but still not responding to that with pressure. Just because I do enough, does that mean I should not do more? In the area of your advice, I've got the Two of Swords and the Two of Cups, which they've spoken to me very loud. The advice here is, address all confusion by asking yourself whether this aligns with the things you love or not. How do you feel about it? Does it align with your values? Does it threaten your energy in any way? As I sense into this, it's very clear that it doesn't. But they're saying that that's pretty much the only consideration you need to keep with you. They're also saying that it's not a consideration you're going to have to keep revisiting. They're just saying the easiest way as you approach this to clear doubt is to ask yourself whether it fits. Is it a culture fit? Does it fit in with your new culture? How you do things? How much they ask of you? All of that. Because that's how you'll stay in balance. I'm also hearing this and feeling this as a way of reducing any time delays that result in energy depletion. And so this is not really depletion, it's just you're in such a good space energy-wise. They're saying even the thought energy is unnecessary. We could be speaking about a new addition. We could be speaking about a new touch. We could be speaking about something irregular, something you're not usually comfortable with, but something you can do, and that doesn't threaten anything else, and it's just there for you. It's just there for you to use. It's an offering. The way I've been approaching this reading, the way the cards have just been falling out, and the way this is going, I'm getting very strongly that this thing is going to be very easy for you. And so if you're thinking about something that you've been wrecking your brain about and wondering how, context, this is not that thing. This is very simple. This is something that maybe you would have been super cautious about before, but now it's not. This is going to be super duper easy. That's what I'm getting from this. And it's just appearing seemingly out of nowhere, and it is just what it is, and you can do it. And so why not? And it's an offering. And also, there's something about it that is so easy for you, but maybe not easy to the next person, and that's actually who it's being offered to. But it's an offering for you because it also adds to what you offer. It's an enhancement of sorts, and not one that needs to be applied everywhere, and not one you have to use. What it feels like is that like you're a baker, and there's something that you always bake, and you're used to baking it, and you've just been going along your merry way, baking, and then someone walks past you and just drops off chocolate sprinkles. And so they're there. And so, or, hundreds and thousands, they're there. You can use them, you don't have to use them. You could ignore them, but you're asking yourself, well, they fit quite nicely. Why not? That's how it feels. And just to go back to what I said earlier, close to the beginning of this reading, which is not going to be a long reading, I'm almost done. But what's coming through a lot here for me is through this new way of being, you can get used to receiving information this way. You can get used to ideas landing on your lap. Most interestingly for me, what's coming through the most about this is that you've always been able to do this, it feels like. It's like this is not new. It just doesn't carry the same amount of pressure that you used to apply on yourself. In your surrounding factors, the Three of Swords. This is speaking to me about how much people actually need this. So what comes easily to you is something that other people really need. And it's clarified by the Page of Cups in reverse. The Page of Cups in reverse is like, it's a humble offering. And those words, humble offering, it came through earlier, and I was just like, trying not to have this scatterbrain. But humble offering came up in one of the extendeds that I did about a way to, it's going to make your life easier. There was a reference to this humble offering coming through to make your life easier and ease pressure off in certain ways. And it's taking me directly back to there. If you're interested in it, I'll leave it in the description box, but I think I've mentioned this one a few times. But if you're new, perhaps I'll link it in. I believe it's one of my prosperity readings. But this is saying, clarifying the Three of Swords is saying, you have no idea how much people need this. Which to you might feel like, really? But the answer to that is yes. And it comes easily to you. But this speaks to the kind of healer that you are. And they're saying this is not a small thing. It might feel small to you, but it holds an immense amount of value. And people need it. In the area of what you want the most, but what you fear the most. And I'm not feeling a huge fear here. This is just the spread. But what I'm seeing here is really asking yourself whether this offering is enough, which speaks to your surrounding factors, and that's the answer. And what they're wanting you, almost concluding here, what they're wanting you to ask yourself is, or rather just to consider here, is the ease with which you can deliver this offering. That's what they want you to look at, not to look at whether, not to compare it too much to the other stuff that you do, and just relax into it. And as it arises, what I'm sensing here is that there's usually so much more consideration that you give to other things that you do. And so here you're applying that consideration naturally, and they're just saying, well, just go with it. Because here we're letting you know that this is needed. They're also saying thank you to you for honoring your needs first, because that's always most important. Because once you've honored your own needs, that's when other people's needs can be honored through you. And that this is a lesson and an example of this. In the outcome, I have the King of Swords, and it's speaking to me differently to how it usually does. The blue speaking to me about ease again, ease and clarity. And also this bat flying away, and the presence of the crows, and the presence of the owl, and the way he's sitting there and holding the sword, and the kind of the direction he's holding it in. This humble offering is going to contribute, and this is in an unexpected way, to clearing things up. Clearing things up. There are things around you, things in your life, you're not going to expect this, but this humble offering is going to clear up a lot of noise in your own life, in its own way. I can't see clearly what that means. But also it's going to have an unexpected result. That's what I'm getting. Clarifying it, I also had the Ace of Cups fall out on its side. And I wasn't sure. For quite a moment there, I wasn't sure. But as soon as I laid it down next to the King of Swords, I got this confirmation that there's a chance that you might sort of side-eye this offering for some time. But, I mean, you're going to do it. It feels like you're going to do it. Especially because of that why not question. You're going to do it, and that's what's going to carry you through. And you're also going to ask yourself, how is it possible that it's this that makes a difference? It's like asking yourself, after everything that I've put myself through and every way that I've approached everything that I do, how is it that this works? This, in this way, like this. So simple, so easy, so honest is what comes through, yet so valuable. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found it helpful. Thank you so much for being with me. Sending you love.